As Mark Twain said, never debate with fools. They bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. And that's what we've seen again and again and again in this place, is foolish arguments from the government, redundant, moribund, archaic arguments are put forward against the cost of renewables, creating doubt around the science of climate change. And it's, as the Honourable Penny Sharp said, it's a terrible reflection on all of us. Scientists, incredibly bright, sophisticated science, an overwhelming consensus, a mass of science, of data informing the IPCC, and it is condemned as ideology.
Mr. Acting President.
Just before I take your point of order, I call Dr. Peter Phelps to order for the this time. And what's your point of order?
You've dealt with it, Mr. President.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we just have to think, who would you trust? NASA, NOAA, the Bureau of Meteorology, or Mr. Scott McDonald? I mean, every single time I'm going to back the people that can put a probe around the moons of Saturn and Jupiter, put people on the moon, who know so much about the science of our planet before the back of the beer coaster economic analysis of this government and the IPC. And I'll refer honourable members to the IPC because ultimately the reason I bring this motion to the House, it may well be one of the last motions, if not the last motion I debate in this House. And it probably is the most important motion I think I've brought here. The IPCC says some very important thing in their report. They said some incredibly alarming things. Alarming things. Yeah, well, no, well, we live in the age of...
It's one thing for the Dr. Peter Phelps to continually interject when I was making a contribution, but he really should be allowing Mr. Jeremy Buckingham to be heard in silence, and I ask you to call him to order.
Point of order, Mr. Deputy Chair. I was merely trying to assist the honourable member with his use of adjectives. He was using the word alarming. I think he meant alarmist, and I was just trying to assist him in that regard.
Well,
That was not a point of order.
I would encourage Dr. Peter Phelps to remain in the House for a further 7 minutes, and to achieve that outcome, he shouldn't interject any further.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy President. They say that the populations most disproportionately at risk of adverse consequences from global warming is our community, people who are dependent on agriculture, coastal livelihoods, southeastern Australia, at most risk. And what we've seen from a Minister for Energy or a Minister for lack of energy is this dithering, blathering, dawdling, fiddling response. Fiddling while Gilgandra burns, fiddling while we miss out with massive amounts of renewable energy investment, while Victoria and Queensland get it, waiting for the neg, forever at the bus stop, hoping that the neg's going to turn up. Well, actually, you know, the reality is that the government's been captured by the ideologues. They've been captured by the National Party, this anchor in the 1950s, stuck in the 1950s. I note the nodding of the Mr. Acting President, stuck in the 1950s on energy policy, thinking that, you know, the chitty bang bang energy policy will work. And I concur with the contributions of the opposition, except the Honourable Adam Searle, who said that next generations will condemn us. Well, it's not next generations, it's this generation. This generation, the young farmers of New South Wales, the Farmers for Climate Action, any reasonable tapped-in person goes, get on with it now. Deal with climate change, grasp the nettle, recognise the threat and the opportunity. That's the great opportunity we have. We need a government with vision, a government with energy, a government with ticker who's going to lead, not wait for someone to turn up and give them some sort of a clue because you're clueless. I commend the motion to the House. And where's Ben Franklin? Didn't even show up for the debate. No Ben Franklin. Didn't even show up.